All right, so when we last left you guys, you were separated in your different areas. We had the Wrightson and Iper drowning event, and they were rescued by a giant kraken. And we had Vashkar and Nalam stranded on an island after they jumped off the back of Zygar. And then we had Uavris, Vordrek, and Othelrix battling outside the ruined city of Kilrathus, and they were all dropped unconscious at the end of the session last week. So that's where we're at. Anyone like to go first?
Roll for it.
Sure.
Roll for initiative.
All right, so you guys can roll and just add up your total between you, or just one of you roll. That's fine.
Just one.
Just one? Okay, so 14. 13. And 9. Okay.
Go on first again. You didn't go so well last time.
Maybe you'll make up for it. All right, so we begin with you guys arriving back at the underwater entrance to the keep near Baval on the continent of Orsova, correct?
Yeah.
All right, so Wrightson, since you've been there before, why don't you go ahead and take the lead?
So it was a travel time, so probably been fine. So I say, is he up like by the shore, or is he are we still off in the distance?
You're approaching it, and he's getting ready to dive. Wants to know if you can hold your breath that long.
Well, how long do we need to hold our breath for?
Doesn't seem like very long to him.
We are very small comparatively.
I would say 4 of my body lengths. However long that takes.
Hopefully you're super speedy. I mean, it's either that or we have to walk across country.
Yes, well, I can't help you with the walking part. So you're going to try to hold your breaths? Or
yeah, I think so. I'm ready.
Okay. So, Hyper, how are you feeling about this? You think you'll be able to hold your breath for that long?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty good with that.
Okay. So this is going to be fortitude as well. And then at some point, if you start to fail too badly, it's going to be your will to survive. So let's go ahead and set a DC here for this. Actually, we should probably do... We'll do it like that. Okay. So I know how hard this is going to be to do based on how large this creature is. Why don't you go ahead and give me some fortitude saves?
Oh, that's it.
No, that's fine.
Oh yeah, 9 plus 1.
So 10. Okay.
11
plus 10.
All right, so it goes down under, and you guys are holding your breath. You go 1 body length. You start to get into the second body length, a little bit through it, and your breath begins to run out. I need you guys to roll a will save for me. So six plus 2.
4.
Oh, plus 10.
So 14 for you. What'd you get?
8. You said 6. 10. I got 10 plus 4. Yeah.
Okay, so 10. So 14 and 10, huh? All right. You black out, and we'll deal with that in a minute. You're able to keep your composure and stay conscious and in control of your body. You're into the third body length, halfway through. I'm going to need you to make a fortitude save, and you, I need you to make another will save.
6. Again.
7.
Yeah, 7. 10. Oh, we got plus 4 last time.
Ooh, that's an
That was this one was 42 now.
Oh, that's
Oh.
So what did you get for your total? 7?
Did you have to do well?
Okay. You actually
His was 42.
you actually open your mouth and you begin drowning.
I don't know.
And we'll go through what that means in a moment.
Mine is 29.
29? Okay. So you're fine. You're pretty sure that you're going to be really lightheaded if you can make it to the other side, but as of right now, not so good. So he dives a little bit deeper than the rest of the cave to go underneath the wall that keeps him in there. And that's when you decide to inhale nice large amounts of water. This water is pretty cold, actually. This is on the southern part of the isle where you're entering from. And that's covered in snow most of the time. So if you can imagine cold water flushing into your lungs as you're blacking out and trying to save yourself, I need you to roll 2d10.
Nine and 5, 14.
Okay. You lose 14 hit points.
This is the open song. That's his full is.
Zero at that. 14. I was like exactly half.
Yeah.
And I need you to roll a d6.
6.
Why not get on my belt?
You lose, you lose 6 intelligence points.
Oh, that's awesome.
You basically fried your brain.
That's negative 1.
Special now. Steve.
All right. So this is now the fourth and final length of the creature before you're coming up to the surface. I need you to roll another fortitude save if you don't mind.
Oh, 6 again. 9. Plus 4 is 13.
Okay. Now that was will or fortitude?
Oh, fortitude 10.
So 10. Okay. So you actually managed to clamp your mouth shut. So you don't finish the process of drowning, luckily for you. What was that, Joe?
That was a 16, so 26.
26. Okay. So you begin to shake. I need you to roll a d4.
2.
Okay. The DC has been increasing the longer you've been holding your breath. So at this point, you actually are going to black out for 2 rounds.
Okay.
And then we'll have to roll for an additional effect once you regain consciousness.
Okay.
Okay. So you guys make it through alive. saving a lot of time on your journey, that's for sure. And when you come into the keep, you notice that, well, no, actually, you don't know anything about it, and you're knocked out. So when you come to, we'll fast forward to that part. When you come to, you notice that the entrance from the Kraken's lake is completely destroyed, so you can't see into the keep from where you are. But you are in the lake area where that tower is that goes back out to the cave.
Yeah.
Or back out to the continent.
So I'm coughing out water and trying to dry off and looking around. I'll go to Iper and say, "Are you okay?" Trying to shake him.
Barely surviving.
Yeah, you're also coughing out water and probably some blood and probably wrapping yourself in anything that might be dry.
Oh, he was unconscious.
I will inflict. I'll inflict moderate wounds on you. So 4 plus 7. So you get back 11 hit points.
So your undead cohort regains 11 hit points.
Hopefully that'll stop the bleeding.
I need you to roll a d20.
Wow.
Come on in there, Hercules.
There, you shoot. 15.
All right. I'll let you know what that means in just a moment.
Yeah.
In the meantime, is there anything in particular you're wanting to do here?
Well, once we are no longer bleeding out and having issues, I would notice the change in the. So from the shore, the wall's been destroyed as it goes to where the keep is. But it's not reconfiguring itself anymore.
Correct.
Okay. So then I would look at the Kraken and I would say, what has happened here? Why is the stone keeping its shape? Why is it not fixing itself? Reforming itself?
I assumed because you didn't want it to anymore.
Oh, yes. Well, although that is true.
Your friends came back.
Which friend?
The mages?
Oh, that's awesome. How many of them?
There were 3.
That's weird.
That's how many there were the last time they were here with you.
It sure is. But at least one of them is believed to be dead. Do you know if they're still here?
They might be. I've been gone ever since they shut the entrance out and my door opened. I've been able to get my own food again.
How's that been?
My child is dead.
Well, that's unfortunate.
He was killed trying to protect me. I took on a fleet of vessels, some very massive ship. I wanted to see if I still had it in me to bring her down. And this was a ship like no other I've seen. It was at least 20 or 30 times the size of a normal vessel that I'd brought down before. It actually had buildings on it. And they surrounded me and began bombarding me with their cannon and spears. And my son came in and he saved me.
Well, it was very noble of him.
If I see that ship again, though, I will do everything in my power to sink it.
If I am able to help you in that fight, I know nothing of it, so I can't commit to anything that I might be able to do to help. But if I can, I will help.
I believe its home port is Sulanai. At least that's where it appeared to be headed. It had just dropped off a large number of troops onto Raidunis. And that's how I found you guys.
I do have some context there. Maybe let's see what is going on. Do you know if the dwarves are still posting here? Did they come to see you at all in the last?
Which dwarves would that be? There's been 2 sets in my time.
That's cool. New ones? We marched down here with dwarves.
Yeah, but there was the original inhabitants.
The new set. The non-drawer dwarves.
The lighter-skinned ones?
Yes.
There are some still here, though their numbers run thin. A breach in the wall after the mages came allowed some of their kind in again, and they likely still hold the keep, although I can't say for certain. I've been gone for a few days this time.
Well, I do appreciate you keeping watch on our keep and making this your home and doing everything that you can, even though it's cost you your offspring. I must venture ahead and see what lies at the keep.
About my loss, I don't really have need to go out anymore. If you mean to take residence here again, I could stay. I could do what I've done against my will, only this time willingly, if you would feed me. It's more dangerous. They have new tools and more painful things than I recall last time I was out.
Yes. There are advances in what we call technology, which is machines and other things at work that would be new to what we have seen in the past. Not just magic, doing things. And I wouldn't want to, even though you said it would be against your will, I wouldn't want to hold you here if I can't promise to feed you. It is possible that I might be able to get you food. However, until I get to the keep and investigate things, I don't know what the scene is in the keep itself, because I've been away for quite a while. I can send somebody back here, or I can return myself and let you know maybe in a few days, but as long as I'm able to, just replant myself there. But until then, please continue to, fend for yourself, and as we all do. But I will attempt to do what I can to be in touch. I just don't know what lies ahead yet.
Would you then do me something that you can assist me with?
Probably. Depends on what it is, but
Allow me to have an offspring born of your corpse, if and when you fall.
Never had a relationship with the Kraken before, but I don't know exactly how that works. I say something along the lines. Oh, actually, I would converse with my rapier at that point and be like, "Is this weird?" Like in my mind.
Sure.
This is weird, right?
He says that symbiote creatures are not entirely unheard of, although he's not aware of the Kraken's specific gestational needs. It is possible that this is how they procreate when a female isn't present.
Do you feel it would have any sway over me as an embryo?
I do not know. I've not had much contact with symbiotic relationships.
Okay.
Although they are not unheard of amongst our dark kin friends.
Yeah. So I would then return back to the Kraken and I say, I'm not opposed to helping you in this matter. As long as it does not impede any abilities of my own, mental or physical or spiritual. I will inform you that I do lead a violent life and hopefully it does not impact any child born of unfortunate events, but
Your violence, as you put it, may be what our species needs most right now due to your kind's increase in their abilities. We may need to increase our own.
will I get any benefit from being a carrier?
Knowing that your soul will live on and that of my offspring.
Well, that seems pretty uneventful, but sure, let's do this.
All right. So he kind of summons himself in basically to like a ball. It almost looks like he's like eating his limbs and stuff inside of his maw. And then he kind of begins to shake in the water and like wobble back and forth. And the limbs rush out of the body, and instead of it just ending at the normal length of his blackened tentacles, thick ichor-like tendrils come out of the pores at the base of like the little suction, and he actually pierces in through your chest, and
Cool.
you feel this darkness rush over you, and this almost like perfect state. You're not feeling any pain. You're not feeling hot or cold or sick or healthy, or anything like that. It just feels perfect.
Okay.
And there's what you're seeing as this happens, is this thick ichor-like tendril pierce through his chest, and his eyes kind of like flick back into his head, and black ichor pours from his eyes, and you see like little skull symbols in his actual iris of his eyes, and a wisp of smoke kind of like poofs as the tendril pulls out of his flesh, and then his eyes roll back to normal, although the black cloudiness is slow to fade. And he drops to his knees, and he's kind of got his hands like he's on all fours, like almost like he's going to heave. And he actually does throw up a little bit. And you are now sworn to that oath.
Yay.
So when your mortal body passes on, what's left of your spirit will pour into a new kraken.
Okay.
And it'll rush towards the nearest water, assuming it lives, of course.
Okay. Sounds good.
So you guys are going to spend some time clearing away the debris and trying to get yourselves to the keep?
Yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so we'll come back to that. We'll make that a fast-forwarding session.
Okay.
Who got the next highest roll?
Just real quick, I would tell Iper the stories of like the keep and it would kind of all twist.
Yeah, you whistle while you work, only tell stories.
Yeah.
I got you. Who was the next highest roll? Island Fun Time?
13. Yeah.
All right. So, Nalam, Vashkar, Golland, and friends, you are currently stranded on an island. And I believe that, Nalam, we left off with you saying that you were headed off to the caves. And Vashkar and his friends were at camp for the night, trying to rest.
Yep.
Okay. So why don't you go ahead and tell us what you're doing.
Oh, I'd actually head to the ruins before the cave.
Okay. So you're heading to the ruins that are on the isle.
Yeah.
What do you have with you?
All my gear.
Mm-hmm. Which is?
Like my weapons or
Sure. What do you have for slashing weapons?
my 2 great swords, and then I have my longbow.
Okay.
And that's all I have for weapons.
How about survival gear?
Not much in the way of that.
Okay.
I have odds and ends of potions and different things, of magic items, and that's pretty much it.
Okay. So, as you can imagine, this is a fairly wild island. As a matter of fact, you haven't seen a single building short of these ruins yet. And the 4 boats, you haven't met any civilized people or any life form for that matter, short of crustaceans on the beach and the fish that swam in the water as you were coming onto shore. So you're making your way to the ruins that you've observed from on top of a hill nearby. And why don't you?
Is it day or night?
This is nighttime when you left.
Evening.
Well, no, nighttime, like camp time.
Like 7?
Probably more like 9.
Okay. Just so I know what I'm doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, is your intent to be as quickly to the ruins as possible, as quietly to the ruins as possible?
I'm kind of in between. I'm just kind of walking, not trying to be super quiet and not trying to be super fast.
Yeah, so you're not going rah rah rah, but you're also not like tiptoeing either.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. So have you roll a d20?
12.
What's your move silently? Not that you're trying to, just to see how silent you are being.
Plus 8, so 20.
Okay. You get to the ruins without noticing anything or anyone, and vice versa.
All right.
When you get there, what you see is... Give me just a moment.
You go from the middle.
Right.
Where am I approaching it from?
Somewhere in there.
All right.
Obviously, you can't see everything that you see as a player, but what you would see is essentially this small cone in front of you.
Mm. I don't see anything approaching.
Nope. You don't see any light sources. You don't hear anything. And you don't see anything short of the wall and debris in front of you.
I just proceed on.
All right. So you're not in combat or anything. Tell me how you want to move.
Going to the over here.
Where?
Right here. I don't know how to explain that. Just add that in there.
Here or here?
Or just going in that, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And you're trying to see if you can see anything or hear anything?
Yeah, I just get there and basically look left, look right, and then I make
Okay.
a listen check.
Let's do spot first.
Plus 13. So 16.
16?
Yeah.
Okay. You can't be certain because it's fairly dark out. I mean, you've only got low light. Do you have low light vision?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So You kind of see a shadow move over in this direction, about here, and then it's not there anymore.
All right.
But that's where you would have seen it.
I didn't see anything off the other way.
Nope.
All right. I'm gonna make my listen check then. 28.
28?
Yeah.
And that was for listen?
Yeah.
Okay. You can hear the faint sound of breathing. You're not able to discern how many mouths, but definitely some kind of medium or larger creature or being.
Does it sound more human or more animal-like?
Let's do knowledge nature.
18.
It could honestly be either. Right now it's sounding a little bit more human than animal, though.
I think I'd just proceed in, heading towards the shadow, but
Okay.
moving silently.
Okay, so roll move silently while I move you. How many do you want to move?
I'd move up to the wall ahead of me.
So just straight ahead?
Yeah, just straight ahead.
Okay.
15.
Okay. As you're stepping through, you can hear some sound as you take each step, not quite moving as silently as you were hoping. The runes themselves, there's a lot of smashed stone and gravel and rocks. So you're stepping on those as you're trying to traverse the corridors. But you don't notice that anything's reacting to it. You don't hear the breathing stop. You still hear the breathing. You don't see any more shadows. What do you do?
I would proceed to the corner from where I saw the shadow.
Okay. So to here or to here?
So there. So then I can.
What do you do?
I peek around the corner to see if I can see what's over there.
Okay, so you try to do like a spot check around the corner here. All right.
19.
Again, you think you see a shadow kind of in this area heading this way.
All right. I'll just proceed on, heading across the way to the wall, and then continue along that wall.
Okay. You want to make a climb check? And are you still trying to do this silently, or are you just going?
Yeah, so trying to
Okay.
be quiet.
So climb and then move silently.
Climb is 18,
Okay.
and then move silently is critical fail.
So you get to the top, and as you're coming down the other side, you kick a rock that's a little bit larger than the rest you've been stepping on, and it slides down the pile and makes a loud thud, and you hear it, and the breathing kind of stops.
I keep going down the pile, acting like I didn't do anything wrong.
Okay, so you're still heading up this way?
Yeah.
All right. So when you get here in that square, I'm going to go ahead and move that into the field of the camera. That is a nat 20. And you are hit with a crossbow bolt. And it's going to be 3 points off your constitution.
I'm unconscious.
You were low on hit points?
Yeah, I was low from the battle. I never got healed because we split up.
Okay, so you are knocked unconscious from the crossbow bolt. We will fast forward to the morning.
Oh, jeez.
Back at the camp.
Oh, well, I can tell you what I was doing at camp. Not that it matters too much, but I was just telling the other followers not to worry. And speaking of war, and the might that they have being by my side to the other followers.
Okay. So just kind of reassuring them.
Like you saw the flames come down upon us and keep us alive. And the dragon did it.
Okay. So this is a diplomacy thing, or this is a reminder thing?
Yeah, it's diplomacy. I'm trying to
Go ahead and roll.
cohort them into. I can roll right here.
Sure.
That's my diplomacy.
Yep.
33.
33? Okay. All 3 of the ones that were left at camp.
Well, not the non.
I know,
Okay.
yeah. All 3 of the ones that were left at the camp that weren't already followers of your god tell you that they are interested in knowing more about this god of war. And they demand you to prove yourself to them in combat. And they say that it's been a while since you've seen any combat, since they've seen any combat. Unfortunately, they had just left the keep, and they were told to abandon their posts, and they weren't able to do much to help defend the city. They know that your friend Nalam is quite brave, and they've seen you call down the flames of war and how effective that was. Unfortunately, though, they have yet to see you actually fight, and they refuse to convert until you can prove yourself to them in combat. And they said Nalam left on his own, saying that he was going to explore the island. We ask that you go and find Nalam and return him to us. And should you do that, then we will follow your god.
You will not join us in this pursuit?
Nope, this is your battle. We can observe, but we will not help you.
I spoke of only what I hold true to myself and what I know of what goes on Phalor. I only speak of the greatness that you have, that you already know you have. I am not trying to make you change your mind.
We want to have our minds changed. We have seen more of the world now, and there are things we do not begin to comprehend.
Then you are not believing in yourself the way you should be. And that of the things that I know you can do, I ask only you to follow me with the rest of our group.
We already do follow you, but if we are to follow who you follow as well, then we will need you to prove that this being, this God that you speak of, is worth following. We have always been able to see our God and interact with our God. Yours is nothing tangible short of what you profess. Prove your prowess in war and combat as you say you have, and we too will follow him.
And you can stay. I only ask of you to do the job that would help us survive on this island until we figure a way off.
We shall hunt. We shall
Excellent.
find game,
I will be quite hungry when I return.
and hopefully quite alive. If you are not back by sundown, we will leave without you.
Then we will meet again if that is what you desire.
Okay. So you set off from camp then?
Do I have any knowledge of where he told me he was going towards some ruins?
I believe so.
I'm guessing he just pointed because I'm assuming I didn't go with him.
No, you've been staying by camp, setting up camp while he was
So
scouting.
what would I see in front of me in the direction that he pointed?
Trees and hills.
Trees.
And hills.
I just say to my cohort Gaul, I say, I guess we go into the forest. To find what we need to survive on this island. The fate of Alam is out of our hands. But as all allies of me, I'm sure his fire is not burned out quite yet.
Okay. And then you set off into the woods? Are
With
you?
the three worshippers too. Unless they're not coming.
No, they can't. That was the agreement.
Oh, they can't?
Right.
Okay,
You
so
have
just
to
me and my
prove-
cohort?
Yep.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. So are you going slowly, quickly, normal?
Slowly as I can go. Dropping
Okay.
through the forest.
So more focus on stealth because you're wearing plate mail?
Pretty much.
Okay. So instead of clink, 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 you're just hearing clink, clink,
Yep.
clink. All right.
And we're definitely side by side, so we can keep a better tactic on any invaders.
Sure. One of you is kind of like looking left and forward, the other one's looking right and backwards, kind of thing.
Yep.
All right.
We used to tree fights probably a little bit.
Let's get you to roll a move silently check. That would be.
Not at all.
That makes sense.
That was a nat 1. in
That
case
is
you didn't see
I
that.
have really loud male armor.
So you're trying to be quiet, and it sounds like mechs.
I'm
Like,
not really trying to be quiet.
It's mechs marching through a forest.
There's some branches being crumpled, and
You just walk
No.
into trees and push them over. All right.
Gaul hits a tree and says, "Gosh darn it!" These trees are really tight together.
You try to go a little bit faster, and you guys get clotheslined by low-lying tree branches.
Okay.
All right. So eventually, you guys come to the ruins.
Oh, great.
Do you have your tokens for that?
Yeah. They'll be these guys from now.
Sounds good.
More specifically, that one's me.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Okay. So you guys come to the ruins. And at this point, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to listen more, look more?
I don't know how good at tracking I am, but I'd probably see if there's anything in the entry point. Just like peering, like looking.
Sure. So where's the entry point from your vision? Here or here?
Oh, Well, depends on where I came. I came in here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here, I'll roll for it.
Sure.
This will be 1, 2. This will be 3, 4. So I'll be looking over here. So I'm probably more over here.
All right. And you're doing spot?
Yeah, I'm just looking.
Okay, go ahead and pitch the dice.
13.
13. All right, so that was a result of a 13 on a 14 roll.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you do not see anything at all. It all looks clear to you.
I figured.
Where you heading? You're not in combat, so if you just want to.
I will probably actually say something.
Okay.
I'll go. Nalam, where have you gone? Are you here?
So how loud are you saying that? Like, would you say that's
Normal.
a normal voice?
Yep.
Okay.
Normal.
You hear no reply after even a minute or more of waiting.
I'll look to Gall and I do not believe he is here. Maybe someone else has seen him. We have gone through the woods and have seen no light, but this is obviously a place where someone has stayed at some point in time. I will say louder than I called for an alarm. Is anyone here? We are looking for a friend.
How much louder? Like twice as loud? 3 times as loud? Like, are you yelling, screaming at the top of your lungs?
Well, if a 4 was normal, I'd probably be doing like a 6.
Okay, so
Louder
1.5
than normal
times
voice.
as loud. Gotcha. After a few moments, you're listening really intently and you hear nothing.
Does it look like that? Pretty much destroyed.
I mean, here's about what you can see.
Okay, but they're like broken stones.
Oh yeah, it's evidently ruins more so than any kind of building you would ever stay
How
in.
much time has passed since I
Since
started traveling into the forest?
about 3-4 hours.
Okay.
So I mean, you've maybe got 6 to 8 hours before dawn.
I will look to Gall and say, "This is
Go ahead.
sure."
You look to call what?
I look to Gall and say, "This is as good as any other place to rest. I do not believe anybody is here this time. Let's gather ourselves and continue the search."
Okay.
So I will probably enter here and I don't know, sit down here for a little bit and kind of take a breather.
So like that.
Yeah.
Take a breather. So after a few moments of silence and just listening to see if anyone came around or not, you eventually do hear something. Exactly what you hear, I mean, you can't be certain, but it sounded like a footstep approaching maybe. Or it could have just as well been something falling from outside.
I'd probably look to Gall and say, "Did you hear that?"
Huh? What? No, I didn't hear nothing.
I'll probably start talking about the Arathi men a little bit and be like, "I do not understand why they keep on thinking that I'm trying to convince them of the things that they should already know, Gal.
Maybe they just don't like killing as much as we do, boss.
It's not the killing, it's the... they're just fools.
I would agree. There's only so many of us, though, you know? Not everyone can be a Darwin lean.
Yes, the true greatest bestial race on Baylor. Let's continue to search on beyond this ruined place.
Could I offer an idea?
The idea suits the need.
You go that way, I'll go this way, and let's be as loud and reckless as we can.
Your ideas are not always the best. That you've had few. But splitting up in a safe location seems quite necessary, or I guess okay. I trust of your skills. You have improved greatly since I met you.
Thanks for saying so. I've just been watching you.
No, he has been watching you.
Yeah, okay. And then he kind of steps over that way.
I'll come over here and I'll basically... I'll be like, don't make too much noise.
Wouldn't dream of it. And what weapon does he have again?
Is great hammer.
Okay. So he takes his great hammer and he starts shouting, "Nalam, we're here to rescue you!" And he smashes into the wall right here as hard as he can. He does pretty good. And you see a shadow kind of run. I can't get my arm up that far, but that way across towards that wall. Yeah. And you hear heavy breathing like...
I'm like, more magic. You who holds the magic of this place.
Apparently they heard you.
We only seek our friend. If you seek to fight us, I will fight you. If not, please come have a conversation with me.
You can hear the breathing slow from the rapid, almost like out of breath breathing to more of a but there's no reply.
Seems war has taken your place of where you live at the moment. Let not your home be destroyed. I apologize for my companion. He is only trying to get the attention of our friend. He is not quite the speaker like I am.
Okay.
Please come out of the shadows. I do not like magic.
You
You want me
hear
to roll like a dice check?
for like diplomacy or whatever?
Yeah.
Sure.
Just so he doesn't get a bad tone from my mouth, or
Sure.
it doesn't get a bad tone from my mouth. That's fine.
What's the total?
34.
Okay. So you hear running, and it's running away from you. If you want to move the dice, you don't know exactly where, just move it that way-ish. Yeah, that's fine. You hear shouting from the other hallway. Hey, boss. I think I see somebody. Do I give chase?
You do not chase, Gall.
I don't think I can throw my hammer that far.
Just tell it to come towards you so you can speak to it.
It's never worked before, but you're the boss. Here, pretty, 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 pretty. Here, pretty, pretty, pretty. As he's banging the hammer up against the wall.
If only he sounded that way, really.
He takes giant thudding steps down the hall.
I'll continue to talk pretty loud. I say, we will leave your home if you just give us the direction of where our friend may be. We do not seek to harm you.
As if in response, a rock is sent sailing in your direction. And what's your AC?
28.
Okay. It hits you in the head. Yep. It breaks your AC, in other words.
Oh, boy.
So that is 7 damage. And after that happens, you hear another pattering of feet kind of run from that way across. Yeah, and back behind the, yep, that's good.
I warned you. You have spilled my blood. Now I will spill yours.
Okay. So how many squares was that from here?
Gall.
What's your base speed? 30?
Yeah.
So you're gonna move them back too? Okay. Unless you're gonna choose to run.
Well, yeah, I could run.
Okay, so you get a -2 to attack, and you can move another 6 squares.
Sure.
I mean, you don't know exactly where they are. That's just where I have them sitting right now. But
Three more left.
where do you go?
Hallway 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
Yeah. Take a swing. Maybe like a
Well, no one's actually there.
in the
Yeah.
shadows.
You're just gonna swing at the shadows.
Freaking magic.
Ugh.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
swing the shadows.
So you're swinging at where you think the sound stopped at. In other words, is kind of what you're saying.
Sure.
All right. Go ahead and swing.
Use some -2.
Yep.
So we have +15 to that.
So 29. If there was anything there, you damn sure would have hit it. But you take a mighty swing in the shadows and pull back, not. No blood, no nothing.
You killed that there.
Exactly. Although you do hear kind of a breath from over your right shoulder. And as you kind of turn in reaction to it, two crossbow bolts. Well, actually, 4 of them whiz at you. 2 clink off your plate mail. The other 2 stick through. $20 damage. And you now realize that you're surrounded. You have the person up here. If you want to move the orange. Yeah, that's fine too.
That's fine. You want
One in the rubble where the triangle is kind of stands up. Yep, another one across from that in the other rubble pile. And then one that's back here around that corner. Yep. And then one of them that's in front of you, roughly where that yellow dice is. And they're all living, not dead.
Perfect.
That one's a living undead.
Right?
Yeah. Gotta be that.
Okay. And then you hear voices after they shoot at you. You hear, "You have chosen wrong to come here, mortal."
I am more than just a mortal.
For now.
The fires of war burn greatly within me. Your flame will be soon to end.
Yes, well, we don't take kindly to flames on this island.
Yet I have shown you none.
And
I
you-
asked you very politely for our friend. You even
He's
offered.
undergoing a transformation right now. It's best that you don't disturb him. He may become violent.
You seek to do the same to me.
We're not certain that we will be able to afflict you as we have him. Your natural state may prevent us from having as much of an impact on you.
If you seek not to end the life of my friend, then perhaps I can aid you in anything that you need help with on this island.
What we need help with. We're dying off. There's nothing left to feed on here.
And what do you feed on?
Flesh, blood. People like you.
I too am a dying race. I only want to see my home and my kind grow to strength that is beyond all of the beasts on Philo.
Yes, well, we doubt very much so that you will let us live now that you know what we are.
You speak only of things that you don't know. You think that I would destroy a race, a proud race who wants only to keep their kind alive, which is exactly what I want.
Then allow us your friend. He,
I can allow you 3 if you let him go.
3, you say? Like
3.
you?
No, more of the fleshy variety.
More flesh than even you? That is hard to believe. You are quite fleshy.
They're expendable casualties of war. I require the strength and brutality of the one that you hold. He betters my cause.
Well, then you will need to find somebody who knows the dark arts and also a bit of healing. You may have need of this individual if your friend is to survive. In the meantime, you will need to feed him, however. He will be quite hungry once he wakes up.
If he is like you, then he can partake in what I have given you, or will be giving you.
A feast of 3 bodies, you say?
Yes.
Truly a gift fit for one of your lives. What of your large friend here? As Vashkar is trying to approach sneakily. Or not Vashkar, Gull.
You want payment for him?
Yes, well, 3 for 3 isn't such a good deal. 3 for 2 is manageable.
I will not. There are 3 others of the 3 that I will give you. They follow me true. I will not give their lives away. If you seek theirs, you must take them your own.
But you will not hinder us in that.
They are mighty.
We have one among us who may prove formidable for even you two.
I would gladly meet this one that you speak of.
Well, we will see about finding him for you. He's generally off in the caves, seeking what little game remains, even things that we fear to approach. He does not fear.
Why not us go find him and aid him in his cause?
You will leave your friend to the full transformation then?
If you do not have dark magic at this moment, I obviously do not either. Is it a curse?
It's more of a blessing, we feel.
Or a disease?
Some may call it that. You may have heard of it as vampirism. What?
Really quick. Even after?
What about that?
Will work even after? Hurts after?
Oh, no. No, it doesn't reverse what's already done, it just prevents any future.
So, like right now?
Right. So like you'd be fine. And if you gave that to him now, he might be, but I don't know.
Well, like I said, we can go aid your friend who you said doesn't fear anything. Or we can do what you want. We can go back to the camp. Can we go back to the camp? My camp?
We can go near the camp.
I would like you to take me to my friend before we do anything.
This may hurt. Where we hold him is secret. This is but a cover.
Please take me to him. And my friend.
Yes,
He will
well,
come too.
you must be willingly trudging then. Or truncheoned.
What is this truncheoned?
They slap you in the back of the head with a club.
Fine.
All right. Well, since it's willingly, they just keep hitting you until you fall, basically. Well, no, what I'm saying is it's not lethal damage. They're just going to hit you until they hit you hard enough to knock you out. This is easier for them. So you wake up and you're in some type of cave system nearby. You can see light starting to come over the hills.
Mm-hmm.
But it is not yet morning. It is dawn. And they say your friend is here, as is the one you seek.
Ah. So the big guy's there?
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, fine. Is he standing by an alarm?
He's actually holding the lamb over his shoulder as if he's a sack of wheat.
Say, may I speak with my friend? I only wish to ignite the fire that's
He's-
still within him.
He's not much for listening, but he kind of turns him towards you.
Most of the time, the people that I talk to usually do not speak back.
So the person that you're looking at, he's roughly 12 feet tall, and he has giant tusks coming out of his mouth. And he says, name's Bakuyo.
Really?
Yeah.
I am Vashgar of the Downleen.
Downwind Lean, huh?
Yes. Very proud race from each town.
It's been a
Yeah.
while since I've had a tussle with anyone with even any real stature to them. Though you are just over half my size, if you wish to test your mettle, we can do that.
I only seek to bolster the strength that you have within you and make you more powerful than you already are.
Oh, I'm already more powerful than I already am.
May I speak with my friend?
He's already listening, I think. And he kind of shrugs his shoulder and drops him to the ground.
I say I know no magic, but this is all I know to bless my friend with the power that you so seek him to have. I'll take the necklace off me and I'll put it around his neck. And then I'll cut my arm and put some blood in his mouth.
Sure.
And be like, let the fires burn within you.
All right.
And then I'll just take the necklace back off and I'll put it back on.
So you wake up.
I'll use it. Yeah, sure.
Nalam, you're not feeling that great. You have this really like metallic tinge taste in your mouth and some kind of like bittersweet I guess like tackiness as well, like stuck on your tongue. And you have kind of like some crusty skin or crusty formation near the edges of your mouth when you come to kind of wipe that away. What do you say when you wake up? You were having some kind of dark dreams.
What happened?
He's still right there.
Yeah.
In the middle of it. So they have transformed you into, they are changing you into something greater than you already are. I have made sure of this.
So I'm changing no matter what?
You already started changing. The fires of war grow deeper within you.
Well, I guess I can't say no to it now if it's already begun.
I had to make a deal to get you out of here. With these beings, they seek to devour the flesh of most that walk.
And these beings are...
We're vampires.
All right then.
And this Bakuyo,
Never heard of him.
him, big guy.
Yeah, still haven't heard of him.
He is a great beast himself.
When you say beast, it's okay. It's still like a 34. He reaches in and he puts his arm on you and he just lifts you straight off the ground and he holds you up and he looks into your eyes and says, "I am no beast."
You are no beast. And you are a god who walks among us.
When you say that, he just lets you go.
Why do you, a god above all, let these vampires keep you here?
There is no way off the island. There was one not long ago, but they sent them away. Rather forcibly. We did manage to capture one of them. And kill another. He's here in this cave system if you'd like to speak with him.
One you captured?
Unless you can commune with the dead, I presume so.
I seek only to get off the island like you.
He was from off the island, like you.
I'd be more than happy to speak with him. Or who you speak with.
Okay. He asks if you need help getting up.
I am a proud soldier of war. But I would gladly take a hand.
He just kind of like grabs your chest piece and stands you back up. It doesn't look like it's taken much effort.
Letting the ally fall is not something that you do, is it?
Only once and never again.
Off to the one you speak of him.
Okay. So we'll come back once you're traverse the cave system. In the meantime, Vordrick, you and those with you, you find yourselves in the ruins of a city sometime later. You can't be certain how long the time has passed. But this is definitely not the ruined city of Kilrathis. This city appears to be more depressed than Kilrathis was. Almost as if some giant hammer struck down upon it from above. Looking around, you see that you stand in a crater that's nearly 60 feet deep and over 100 feet wide. And it's fairly conical. It's almost like a large V. So again, it's 60 feet deep and 100 feet wide.
Very steep ledges, practically non-escapable. So it's all three of us together in the same spot? Lavarus, Elfedrix, and myself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I look to them to see if I can determine if they're still alive or not.
Luhavris is not communicating with you. He's got his back turned, but he's definitely breathing.
Okay, no, he's alive. What about Felix?
Oh, Felix appears to be bandaged up and clings to life barely nearby.
Well, I have no idea where we are. And since it's just the three of us, I'm going to try and call out to anybody that might be nearby that might be able to.
So you're just like saying, help!
Yeah,
Help!
just calling out, hello, is there anybody there?
Okay. How long do you like shout like that for? Do you just do it every 10 seconds for a minute? Do you do it like every minute for an hour? What's your time pattern?
I would say probably every 10 seconds for, I don't know, let's say 5 minutes span of time. If I don't get a response by then, I'll just kind of stop for a while.
Okay. So if 5 is your normal speaking voice, are you at a 10 or a 6 or?
Probably speaking at I would say probably about a 9.
Okay, so not a full scream, but pretty much as loud as you can yell without your voice breaking.
Yeah.
Okay. So how long did you say? 10 minutes? Every 10 seconds?
Every 10 seconds for about 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Okay. So after doing that for 5 minutes, just as you're about to give up, you see a shadow kind of come walking towards the edge, and you see a man lean over the edge, and he's got on a steel breastplate emblazoned with a spear, and the head of the spear with a bloody tip.
More of them. Okay.
And looks down in, and he says, You have brought this rune upon the kingdom of Galeta. They have hired us to track down all of those responsible and sacrifice them in the name of the Galetan god. Do you have anything to say for your actions?
I don't have any memory of bringing any ruin to anything, and I don't know who else you're looking for that might have caused this, but I think you might have the wrong people.
The wrong people, he says. When the wind around you tells you who the right people are, you don't ask questions. That is a sign from the gods if I've ever seen one. The Aletheos themselves speak in the winds these days. And a woman's voice told us you three were responsible for the rune of Galeta.
A woman's voice. Perhaps an elderly woman's voice?
Does it matter? A voice of the gods speaks to us.
That was not a god. That was a
You dare blaspheme against the Galetan goddess?
Witch.
Do you have evidence that this person is a witch?
If it's the person I'm thinking it is, then yes, I know she's a witch. She's a blood mage.
And you have proof of this that you can present to us now to spare your life from sacrifice.
I believe so. Yeah.
Then present your evidence. Your things are on the ground near you, all save your weapons. And that hideous belt.
It's not a belt. The second person that called that a belt. It's not a belt. And that was the only weapon I carried.
Well, I'm wearing it like one.
I reach into my bag and that and try to find the empty blood vial that the hag gave me,
Okay.
hoping that I might have stashed it in there before I transformed.
Sure.
Did I find it?
Roll a d20. Nothing like a player who comes bearing gifts.
Wow. Show me up while you're at it. God.
Like, guess who gets extra treasure tonight? Yeah. All right. What was that?
7.
7. Okay. So you're fumbling around, and he's got his spear in his hand, and he's kind of getting ready to throw it down towards you. And he says, "Have you found anything? This spear is getting quite heavy, and it would be easy enough to drop it and have no one ask questions."
I don't know. Do I find it?
You begin rummaging quite furiously through the bag, throwing contents about. And at the last moment, as he's about ready to throw his spear down at you, he's like, "Say your last words, friend." You quickly pull out the vial,
Empty
and
vial.
you say, "What?"
I was given this by the so-called God as a way of saving my own life, if need be. It used to contain an unknown sample of blood.
A piece of glass? You expect me to believe that the gods gave you a piece of glass?
As I said, she's not a god. She's
Then
a
where
maid.
is she? Why do I hear her voice everywhere I go? Why do I hear her speak to me in the winds?
She's a powerful maid. She can project her voice on medium that most of us cannot.
Goletta has mages. The Crimson Spear have mages. None of them can speak through the winds.
Do they have blood mages?
Not exactly, but certainly blood mages can't be that much more powerful.
This one is. She turned several of my friends to animals simply by looking at them.
Yes, well, study my face. Because as soon as the order is given to kill you, it will be me that carries out that order. I find you and your friends quite pathetic. Maybe one of these days, soon, they'll decide to execute you. I don't know why they're waiting. The Galettan Holy Council. They're waiting some kind of emissary from Tervarakwa to arrive. Apparently the city has been freed from its siege. Something about the damned army returned from the descent.
Any idea as to estimated time of arrival?
Well, let's see, you've been in that hole rotting away for 3 weeks now. It took us almost a month and a half to get here in the first place. So Maybe another week or two. Sorry, there's not much food. We used to be a thriving empire, and
What is this event that you claim we were responsible for that created this chasm that we're now lying in?
something called the Legask.
I had nothing to do with that. None of my friends had anything to do with that.
Yes, well, we hear that all the time.
We helped eliminate it or send it back to where it came from. But
That's not what the soldiers from Kilrathi told us as we tore out their hearts.
No, the soldiers from Kilrathi have a tendency to lie to save their own faith.
3,000 of them with the same lie? That seems rather inconvenient. They said you and your friends were responsible for the destruction of their cathedral, and you summoned this great beast to lay waste to all of Raidanis. We're looking for 3 individuals of particular import.
And who would they be?
None of them are you, sadly. You are less important than
By any chance,
we ever
would
suspected.
either of them be a giant lizard man?
2 of the 3 are.
And who's the third?
Some type of human warrior who defiled the cathedral. Some type of ritual was performed. Some type of ritual was performed underground at an ancient shrine, and we found the markings inside the shrine. At cost of some men, there were traps laid, but only 50 men died to find the truth. There was some loot inside too that it appeared that you may have wanted to come back for, and we have men stationed there in case others do. But the same markings that were at the cathedral in the ruins of Kilrathis were also in this shrine. We don't know who you guys follow and what these symbols mean, but we're certain that it's what summoned this Legask to this ruined city of Goleta. You guys are responsible for 1.2 million dead. The entire kingdom of Goleta wiped off the face of Raidanis by your ritualistic practices. You and your friends will answer for this. And we saw them fleeing the city on the back of a great beast. We've sent vessels out that way, and we've contacted the Sulani raiders. And they're out scouting the oceans, looking for where they might have gone. Rest assured, if we see any of these winged beasts that were carrying your friends away, we will kill them. You've made a great enemy going against the Holy Empire of Goleta. And now that the other Holy Empire of the world, Tervarakwa, is also involved in this, they too will soon seek you out and hunt you down for the murder of all of those innocent people. Tell me again you're not responsible for this, you scum.
It seems quite clear that you've been made to believe a story that is far from the actual events that occurred, and mere words cannot dissuade you from believing in this story.
Then you deny that this item here, and he pulls off a shield from his back and he holds it up, was not crafted by one of your friends?
Where you looking at?
One of those lizard men you speak of? The Sulani tell us of a story of a sale of a fraudulent legendary weapon. with the same markings by the same scaled beings. It seems that all you do is go around traveling to great cities of the world thinking you're free from repercussions. Do you have any idea what the Sulani Raiders are capable of?
Yes.
More importantly, do you even know what the Crimson Spear do?
I have a vague idea.
Well,
Go around killing people for no reason.
you'll find out soon enough. But rest assured, all the other great kingdoms of the world now know this symbol. And if they see it, they are to arrest them on sight and have them thrown into the dungeon until inquisitors of either of the Holy Empire of the remnants of Goleta or the Terravarakan Holy Empire are able to arrive and question them and bring them back to justice for the murder of 1.2 million innocent souls. Do you have anything more to say for yourself, you horned and winged bastard?
Let me ask you something. Do you see all creatures that are not like you with this extreme level of contempt and hatred?
No, just ones who consort with murderers of 1.2 million innocent beings. And you just said that you drank blood from a vial.
I said I did it to preserve my own life.
Yes, well, convenient for you that it involved giving you wings and the return of, I can't even speak that devil's name. You know who he is.
Yeah, I do.
The Aletheos is restored. All you who practice evil be warned. Your days are numbered.
I've heard that before.
It's all I can do to not just whip my spear down at your throat right now. You sicken me. Luckily for you, I can control my outbursts because I'm not swayed by the darkness as you are.
You have no idea what I'm capable of.
And I probably never will, unless they choose to let me fight you to the death. I pray for your soul that that doesn't happen. I used to be a paladin of the Empire of Goleta.
Holy warrior. Wonderful.
I've done some unfortunate things that the Empire frowned upon, but they still pay for my services. My skill set is needed when it comes to people like you. Are you mumbling?
Taking stock of what I'm up against.
Yes, well, it didn't take me nearly as long. You're not as impressive as I am to behold. And he walks away.
I wait till he's a fair distance away.
What are you doing? You wait until he's a fair distance
Until
away.
he's a fair distance away. I unfurl the wings that I've had wrapped around my shoulders, and I begin to try and use them to get myself out of this hole.
Sweet. I kind of turn and I look at you and I'm like, hey, why didn't you do that before?
I haven't exactly gotten used to using these yet. I really don't know how to use them at all at this point. I'm still learning.
Can I have my belt back?
Unfortunately, first off, it's not a belt, and second, I don't have it anymore. The guy that I was just talking to, he's got it as a belt now.
What?
No, it's not a belt.
He took my belt?
No, I took it, and he took it from me. And it's not a belt.
It was my belt.
It's a whip, you moron.
What's a whip?
It's a weapon.
A whipping?
A weapon.
Do you whip with the weapon?
Yes, that's why it's called a whip.
So it's a weapon that you whip with.
Correct. And it inflicts damage through fire and electricity, among other things.
It's a really nice belt, too.
It's awfully long for someone of your size, isn't it?
It does a particularly good job of holding my pants up, is what I'm saying. It gets windy sometimes around me.
Do you need a
You know
belt that wraps around you 4 times?
It's 6, but yes.
Okay, whatever. 6 times. Don't they make more effective means of holding up your pants that don't require you to wrap around your waist 6 times?
Well, those hideous suspenders, but only those moronic, barefoot, hairy bastards.
You talking about halflings?
That's it. Only they wear them. They give small folk like
They
us
do
a bad name.
They do make these things called sashes that are effective at using for holding up pants. It's a piece of fabric specifically designed for holding up pants. You tie it in a knot.
I thought you said you were a monk.
I used to wear a sash, yes.
Touche. I thought you were some kind of clothier.
Clothing?
Yeah, you know. You like sew and...
No.
No?
No, I never made clothing before.
Hmm.
Bought clothing, but I've never made it.
Have you done anything useful in your life? I mean, you were a monk. From what I understand of monks, they train, make themselves all special, and I haven't seen anything, well, short of that thing you did before in the city, and then, well, I'm guessing you can't do that again. See, look what I can do. And I teleport behind you, and I'm on your shoulders.
I kind of shrug my shoulders and tip you off.
I teleport in front of you. See? Can you do that? These might help you be something special. You need to get angry. I like you when you're angry.
No, people don't like me when I'm angry.
I love it when you're angry. You turn red.
Then you're a fool. I'm always red, you moron.
Well, you get hornier at least. More horns, that's what I mean. I slap you.
In the ankle?
No, in the face.
How did you manage that?
I stand
You can't.
up.
You're 2'5". How can you possibly reach my face?
We're on the side of like a cone, and I go up the wall a little bit and I slap you.
How can you stand on
He did it. He's light-footed.
If you need me to, I can just use gust of wind and lift myself up. And then slap you on the way down with my umbrella.
I'm gonna choke you with my tail.
Ooh.
Well, I already slapped you.
Attack.
I already slapped you.
Roll hit.
And I said, come on, get angry, friend.
I spent my life.
I cut you in the face with my umbrella. Come on! They're getting away. We need to get out of this pit.
If you would shut up, I would be able to practice using my wings, and I might be able to get us out of here.
Have a good night. Practice using your wings? You don't need to practice. You just need to get angry. Trust me. And I kind of turn the umbrella and I jab you in the stomach with the blunt tip of it. And I just start repeatedly hitting you with the other end until you bleed. That's 4 strikes to your face with the slashing weapon. Come on, something's got to get you angry.
I grab the umbrella out of your hand and I rip it away from you.
Ooh! You took my umbrella!
Try anything like that again, and this umbrella's gonna end up in your throat.
Not if it's over there. Hand me my umbrella.
I'm still holding it.
You said you threw it away, I thought.
No, I said I took it out.
Oh,
of
you
your
ripped
hand
it
and I'm
away.
holding
I got you. Okay. Hand me my umbrella.
No. Not until you decide to stop aggravating me.
Aggravating you? I'm not even trying yet. I cast Gust of Wind on you, knocking you down with any luck. I need you to make an opposed strength check. See if you can stay standing. Ooh, look at you're resisting the force. Come on, you pansy. Let's go fight this guy. Flap those beautiful wings of yours and let's get the hell out of here.
As I said, I've not gotten the hang of using these things yet.
Give me the wings. I'll show you how to use them.
I can't give you something that's attached to me.
Well, then you rot in this hole. And I teleport up to the top of the hole, taking my umbrella with me.
Well, you can go off and fight the Crimson Spear by yourself.
Okay, I'll do that. And I walk away.
Good luck with that.
We'll come back to you in the pit in a couple of days. All right. Wrightson, back to you and Hyper.
Special.
You guys have successfully taken away enough of the stone and debris that blocked the entrance to the keep. This has been probably 2 or 3 weeks to clear enough of it away to actually get to the keep. The Kraken's been bringing you food, and you've been doing your thing, I'm assuming, as needed.
I can make food and water.
So you're good.
You're good. I'm hungry.
No, Elton. No.
Where's Trade when you need him? Yeah. I'm still waiting.
Ooh, tomorrow night we get to play with Bobby.
Uh-huh.
We'll get some bread.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Perfect.
Bread.
All right.
So,
Kevin's empty.
what was that?
Kevin's made empty.
Yep.
Through.
Yep.
Get to the. So, there was like a tunnel, and there was an opening, and the keep was there. Are we at the edge of the tunnel where the keep is still like visible?
If you'll recall, it came off from the east, and then there was like a little trail that you had to go across, and then a drawbridge.
Yeah.
And then the keep itself. So you go through all that, and the keep's still there.
Okay.
Like everything's. You're in a giant cave. You have no idea.
You're good.
Yeah, you're good. You're able to walk in bipedal form if that's what you're curious about.
All of your bunny splendor for show.
That's right. Your half drow, half Lagokan body is on display. Is that a Draugokan then?
Yes.
Or a Lagokao? Lagokao?
I like Dragokin.
I do too. Dragokan?
Yeah.
Dragokan?
Just go get a detail.
Yes.
All right. So you guys get to the keep, and as you're approaching, the drawbridge lowers, and they said, "Hurry in! We need more blades."
I hurry in.
You're your own man.
I take it slowly.
Okay.
You have no blades.
So as you go in, well, they said blades. Okay. As you go in, you hear the pitch of battle being waged, and in the center of the keep, once you get to that point, you see a giant mechanical beast of some type terrorizing the dwarves, and it looks to be in the shape of a it's kind of like the body of a large dog or a very large cat with the head of a bull. And it has little holes in the side of it and on the face. And you can see steam and what's the coals, glowing coals inside. So you see heat radiating out of it and steam blowing, through its nostrils as it charges around the room.
How giant is this giant?
So it's probably about 8 feet to 10 feet in height.
Okay.
I mean, you can't get an exact measurement because its head's down and it's ramming through people at times.
Yeah.
Its overall length is probably closer to 15 feet or so.
Okay.
And width, you'd say probably 4.5, 5 feet.
Okay.
So it's a pretty big creature. And you just see dwarven bodies just sailing left and right. They tell you that this construct seems to be possessed with a unruly spirit.
I say hyper. Make me large.
Make you large.
Yeah.
All right, I'll cast a large person on here.
Okay. How do you cast a large person? What does that look like? Do you touch him?
Oh, I can go on.
Oh, you have a wand of a large person? Oh, okay. All right. I just thought you touched him and then he got large. You know what I mean? So okay. Maybe that's not how it went down.
Sharp jab to the ribs.
A sharp thrust to the ribs.
And then I cast Divine Power on myself.
Nice. I'll take one of those rations.
Yeah.
That was sucked. I felt bad.
Thank you kindly, sir. Trail ration.
They're not pink inside. They're not the margin behind cookies.
And then I go with my Havlik short sword and the rapier drawn. And I'll engage the mechanical beast.
Okay. So, are you hitting it with a weapon, or
Yes.
okay? What did you roll?
So I haven't rolled yet.
Oh yeah.
Basically, I'll just.
There's a muffin inside of the muffin.
So I get actually my base attack bonus goes up to +8.
Okay.
Instead of +6.
All right.
Ain't no other
So
It's a cookie muffin.
cookie muffin.
There's a cookie in the bottom of my muffin.
Cupcake. Cookies on the cupcake. Is your character a baker?
She is now.
Knowledge
Very
good.
I have a 24 and a 23.
A 24 and a 23.
Yes.
Both hit. The other one barely seems to strike true, though.
The mechanical beast. So I take 17. And then I make my second attack.
You can't be certain, but you think you've inflicted damage. As you hear a great snort release from inside the beast.
Oh, those are probably gonna miss then. Yeah, 6 and a 2. Which means I'll miss on my second attack because in the head was -5 then.
Miss. All right. One of the dwarves says, "You trying to make friends with it, laddie?
I'm trying to save you and your kin.
You don't hit it with crap like that. You're gonna break your blade."
You seem to be doing well so far. What do you suggest?
A hammer.
I have no skill with a hammer.
Well, then why don't you sit this one out?
I have skill with this, and I'm called a sight though.
How that might work. That's how you hurt a beast.
Okay.
He brings his mighty hammer down, and you just see the metal just fold in around the blow.
How big is this dwarf?
Huh?
How big is this dwarf?
He's not very big, but his arms are like probably the size of your entire
So I'm
torso.
I'm 11 feet tall, and this little short guy is like, "Rah."
When you're in normal size. He goes, "It's not about the size, it's how you use it."
Turn my orc sight on the dwarf. I smash you through the head.
When in doubt, just go rods.
Just kidding.
All right.
No.
And then he says, "Let me show you again how it's done.
Tuesday.
Stop distracting me,
I
damn elf." All right. Another couple of dwarves.
I'm just gonna stay back and laugh.
Yeah.
My dice escapes me. Can't see what that is.
18.
What is it?
18.
Wow, okay. So, yeah, 18, 18, 14, 6, and 4. Wow, one more. Okay, so 3 misses and 3 hits. All right. We've been fighting this thing for like an hour now, and it just doesn't seem to want to drop. Any suggestions there, elf?
Let me cut it in half. Remove the head.
Okay. You're up, big guy.
I will take the orc scythe and try to. I'm gonna call a shot in neck and try to just slice it right through the head.
Sure.
So as like the scythe comes in, if I hit, like, and like rip the head forward.
Okay.
Just to separate it from the spine, or would be a spine if it was.
I gotcha.
No. Oh, it's so close.
It's only tipped that way a little more. Yeah. He starts laughing. He goes, "Yeah, that's about how we thought you'd do."
Yeah, it's still 24.
So you hit it.
Yeah.
If you want to go ahead and roll to see how.
The minimal damage.
Yeah.
The 4 and 2.
Yeah.
6.
I need you to roll the D% as well.
Oh, it's 100.
0, 0, really?
Yeah, I'm 100.
Okay. Yeah, I won't explain what that's for. I'll just say okay. That would be the beast's turn. Who's he hitting? Mouthy dwarf who hurt him a lot. Big tall elf who. Oh, mouthy dwarf. Excuse me. 34 clears his AC. Wow. That's 42 gore damage.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it is. He's not feeling very good. Okay. Back to the loud dwarf.
Oh, that was close, dude. What an 8.
And next one for him.
Is that a 1?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
You made me drop my hammer. The first swing, he just kind of bounces off. Kind of looks towards you like, are you watching this? And he goes to hit it again and he drops the hammer.
You shouldn't throw things at it.
Aye, you shouldn't. Don't worry, I'll be fine.
Nope.
What was that? 10?
This is 13.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there's a 20.
So one of the other dwarves lays into the beast. Oops. I swear this thing's got like a spring in the back of it.
Oops.
Okay, and then I got one more to make. That's 2.
9.
Yes, okay, so 2 hits and 4 misses. Great. All right. So 13, 8 is 21. 21 more damage to it. He's going to try to, he looks towards you and he says, you could pick up my hammer if you want. You might be the first elf actually capable of doing it.
Is it the power of lightning?
Sparks fly when I wield it. Might be that.
Maybe next time. I'm gonna work safe it again.
Okay.
Oh my god. Another 8. Ah.
At least it's not like last week where all you rolled was 20s.
20s or 1s.
Exactly.
7, 8, 9.
Hyper, you're just sitting back.
Yeah, I'm still laughing at all of this.
Okay.
I say equal the odds. Make the dwarf bigger.
Which one?
The loud one?
I had the loud one. Make the mouthy one on equal footing.
Alright, I go up and jab him in the ribs too.
What was that wee prick for? Yeah. What was with the wee prick? And he's like looking down from above you and he's like, oh, prick me anytime with that. And he says, I suppose I won't need to ask you to hand me my hammer. He reaches down and picks up the weapon. He's like, wish this grew too.
Hey, what if we would have held on to it? Held on to it.
He goes, that's all right. I can just hold it with 2 hands or 1 hand now. He's like looking around for another one. He's gonna try to play whack-a-mole. So he brings the hammer down on the beast as it approaches and it's charged, trying to gore him again. And he just crushes its head, and the metal just goes, and the beast just comes to a screeching halt as the coals pour out from the sides, and steam hisses as the construct is defeated.
Nice.
Well then, good thing you showed up when you did.
Darn right.
You look familiar.
I better have.
Do I owe you money?
Yes. Yes, you do. I say with a straight face. Yes. Yes, you do.
Yeah? Why don't you give me a bluff check on that one?
Oh, snaps.
He does say it with a straight face. Well, sense motive.
No.
He's like, how much do I be owing you?
I actually, you're being, I have.
What? What?
I have.
I know I just been in a pitched battle,
It's
but
not so much the amount of money; it's the type of item that I actually am in need of. I'm in need of a not very valuable diamond. Something
diamonds aren't very valuable anyways.
something that is just over 100 gold pieces.
That's cheap.
I know. That's all I'm saying. It's not actually a lot that you owe me. I just, some bet that we had back in the day, and I just, came back to make sure it was repaid.
Would you accept 2 for being late?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's a little interest, and I understand you want to make up for, your debt and everything. So.
Well, I think these ones are at least 100 gold, and he reaches out like 2 of the finest diamonds you've ever seen. He just kind of pitches them over to you.
And I'll catch them or try to catch them.
Yeah, Dex.
Plus my dex is 16.
You're all right. So you grab both of them out of the air.
Yeah.
And he's like, what's your name, just so I can mark it down in my book?
Does your book look like this? Wrightson, Favornock. We came to this keep. You came to this keep with us. Unfortunately, the rest of my party is separated from us, but I came back to reestablish this as a safe holding for our party and a beacon for people like us.
Your party, you say?
Yes, do you remember Fordrick and Priscilla? And I name off all the other people that were here when we were here last time. They're no longer with our party.
It's like, didn't you help repair Verona?
Yes, we did. We did, and we reestablished, trade and wealth to the city. The refugees from Bobal ended up finding solace in the city of Verona, which I assume has grown.
Things with the mages go south, did they?
There was some, differences of opinion. I heard they returned recently.
That they did, laddie. They, well, they fled that away.
I'm assuming there's a huge hole in the wall somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe we should follow. Did they say where they were going?
Oh, we're not following.
Did they say where they were going?
That way? And right quick, too.
Any destination?
Away from us. Apparently their squishy bones don't like their hammers. Although they did kill many of my men.
Well, that is unfortunate. I'm glad we have won this day.
Yeah, well,
As I shrink down to my normal size. Like 2 turns later, he will as well. So did they go down, did they go down the doorway tunnels or did they go?
The big central tunnel.
Okay. Have you been able to explore any of the doorways that we marked a B on this sort of door ball? Has there been any other? Are there any other letters that are on any of the doors at all?
We didn't know there was a pattern, but one of our people probably has a chart. Yeah.
Oh, I would appreciate the information from that chart, as I expect my party to hopefully get back in touch with me, and if it is possible for us to have faster travel from where we are currently to where we may need to go.
I'll gladly get you that information.
Excellent.
There's a little cost with it. Say 2 small diamonds.
Seeing as how I do need one for, I don't know how much of the diamond. I guess I wouldn't know phrase wise.
Yeah. You could do 1 and then 300 gold or so.
How about 1 small diamond and a white pearl?
Pearls, useless. Don't you know anybody who could use pearls? Dwarves aren't much for that shite.
Well, I don't have much gold on me. How about a white and a black pearl? They are worth much more in trade than a 300 gold. And if the city of Verona is still growing, I'm sure that there's
Oh
some
yeah,
places
growing. Yeah, definitely
able
growing.
to-
Mm.
trade them in for the gold.
Yeah, me
Alright.
probably. Yeah, I mean, sure.
Sounds good.
Trade's
And
good.
Hand back the one diamond and the two pearls.
All right. So, you going in the tunnels?
I would like to. I will take if you don't. I mean, I don't plan on going today.
Right? No, not today. Tomorrow then.
Not necessarily tomorrow either. I do want to get in touch with the rest of my party.
Yep.
I mean, reset up shop. I did have a room here with.
Yeah. Stuff in it. Yeah.
Yep. There were some like jars and bottles and some flasks.
Shite.
And,
Really shite.
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
were useful to me. If that still is available, you know, I wish to do some research here, and there's some things that I brought back from my adventures that might be useful in our tunnels.
Ooh. Well, you know the beast here that that I finished off, I guess.
Yes.
Well, it didn't start here.
Well, we shall have to find a new place for me to.
For your shite.
Yes.
Yeah, one of the doors, actually, if I remember right, leads to another place you could go.
Excellent.
Yep.
Where is this place? Where with the shite?
It's a bit of a walk.
How long a walk?
For your legs or mine?
Well, I am the taller one, so for my legs.
Well, actually, and they start shrinking down. Damn it! You're right. You are the taller one again. Well, couple of weeks.
Is there a destination name with this travel?
Some kind of above ground shite that we don't care about.
I would like to see Verona before we leave.
Sure, you can go. Who's we?
Hyper and myself.
Oh, he didn't do anything.
Well, you were 10 foot tall for a little while.
All right, fine. He pricked me. Big deal.
He is the support in my current party. To make sure that we are
Useless in combat on his own, but useful for helping you out.
absolutely.
Yeah, we got some people like that. We call them, stuff and proper, you know. We call them, the wee dim ones.
Well, although he has not been able to have all of his faculties in the last couple weeks, there is something I've recently tried that may help me to, increase that aptitude.
No, sure. He looks like a great guy.
Yep, absolutely.
All pale skinned and
Mhm.
what's with the things on his head?
They are sensors that.
Oh,
allow him-
sensors.
Yeah,
What do those do?
they sense things.
Clever. Did you make it yourself?
I did not. But there's one of this world who likes to make things that are clever and inventive, apparently. I do not like this person though, so perhaps we will meet in the future and I will destroy it.
Well, if he makes useless shit like that, maybe he deserves it.
I believe he does. So, do you have any need to? I plan to head to Verona before I
Yeah,
leave on my
trade.
trip. Do you have any?
Yep. Nope.
Need to head that way?
None at all. Trade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you
It's a growing city.
Have you been getting any trade from Verona?
Nope. Haven't seen or heard much. It's all, yeah, we don't know anything.
Well, perhaps we can rectify that.
No, we don't need to know surface stuff.
Well, but there may be
Shite.
use for equipment and persons and bodies. And
No. We're fine down here.
with your dwindling army and
Yeah.
survivors.
Yeah, we're stout. We're good.
You are stout.
Yep.
And how many men did you start with?
Counting is not my thing. That's for those coin people.
Where is this coin people person of your party?
Oh, he died.
Perhaps I shall get a new one for you.
We maybe could use it.
Well, see what
I
can
just
do.
swing this.
You swing
makes-
it. You do swing it well.
It gets me a lot of coin, I'll tell you.
There are other pieces of life that you may want to pay attention to.
Well, I did have a missus once.
Well, if I were able to
She even had a beard.
if I'm able to find
A
some
fine beard.
fine blades in Verona that may be able to shape that beard in a certain manner, perhaps I'll send them this way.
Cutting a beard?
Well, I mean,
Why would you?
just to make sure that you understand the definition of who is who and what is what.
I never understood you damned elves.
Well, I leave in the morning for Verona, and then I will return and head along the path that the aforementioned shite is.
And if you bring back any shite, you'll be taking it to your above ground shite hole.
Absolutely.
As long as we're clear.
Well, I appreciate you guys holding the fort.
Yeah, no.
It is the key
Our pleasure, yeah.
Keep.
Mm-hmm. See, the beasts returned.
Yeah. Yeah, that was weird.
It's yeah. He
Slam.
yeah.
Long way.
No idea what happened to him.
Me neither. I just kind of walked down the tunnel space, and here I am.
You swam?
I didn't swim at all, but there's a big hole, and you guys might want to work on fixing that cavern.
Oh no people were going by him.
Okay.
He's got an appetite.
That's what I've heard.
Well, yeah, one of those mages went over there. Oh boy. He You need a drink.
Well, was there any conversation about the Kraken's baby while the mate was over there?
Cracking babies. I hope not. Jeez, that'd be expensive as hell.
That may have upset him.
Oh yeah, upset. No, wouldn't want to do that.
Well, we will be on our way in the morning. Appreciate all the help, and like I said, the payment. I appreciate you coming clean with your debt and everything.
Oh yeah,
It's important to make sure that is handled in the proper ways.
So you know the drawer?
Yes.
Durgar? If you be seeing any of them, you kill them for me.
Absolutely. I have no love for.
I mean, I was hesitant to ask you being dark skinned and all. You guys are usually evil pricks for the most part.
I have my ways, but they do not coincide with your darker half.
I haven't been really honest with you, friend. Verona's gone.
Well, that's terrible.
You don't say.
What happened?
Oh, you know those things from the north of Orsova? You guys maybe fought them when you were there?
when we were running from the city?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, apparently they don't stay still.
Most things do not.
Yeah. No, we're just chilling down here, enjoying our liveliness.
Out with it.
What?
I will have truth and knowledge. And for 3.
All right. You might want to throw down your weapons.
I will do no such thing.
Well, then you're going to have a problem.
Why do you say this?
As he says that you hear some kind of noise coming from the direction of the hole in the wall.
Okay.
And this huge wooden structure comes out of the opening.
Okay.
And he says, these guys don't mess around. Apparently they've seen some battles. And there's not much left up there. So they came down here. Don't know how they got in the cave. Don't know that I wanna. An airship sets down outside the wall.
Okay.
And the 3 members of the rogue or the Thieves Guild get off the ship. And they tell you that the assassins were captured on an island nearby.
Was this our airship?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
The dwarves kind of looking at you, surprised that they're not like trying to kill you.
Yeah.
He's like, you know them.
The Thieves Guild?
These 3 dark hooded bastards.
I know them.
Not
No.
I mean, not really, but
Yeah.
they've been on the ship with the. They were on the ship when you guys were rescued from Laval.
I would say I know all of them.
Well,
Yes.
they're really skilled with the blade, for sure.
That they are.
One of them draws back the hood of their cloak and says to you, "We need to go back to the island and see if we can rescue them. Apparently, a den of vampires calls the island home."
Most excellent. We'll see how this goes.
They kind of are glaring at you. What's your name, friend?
Rescue.
Piper Barbescu.
Where are you from, Iper?
I was the one that brought him here. I found him.
You're his mom.
I am not. But I am his
Where are you
keeper.
from?
I am his keeper and caretaker.
Your skin seems a little pale, friend. Are you feeling okay?
Fine.
You're coming with us to handle these vampires?
Whatever he says.
It is true. He does whatever I say.
Prove it.
Stand on your ears.
You try to do a headstand.
All right.
Go ahead and roll a dexterity. And let's do a perform check as well. So just roll 2d20. Or 2 20s. Blue one will be the Dex.
Terrible. Terrible.
Yeah.
10 and whatever the 2 is.
So 2 for perform.
Yeah.
Well, indeed it does do whatever you say, but apparently not very well.
Absolutely. And that is why he serves me, because he is terrible at everything. Even swimming.
All right. So, you get on the airship then?
Yes.
All right. So, as you're about to leave, the dwarf tells you that he found those maps you're looking for, the tunnels,
Excellent.
and he hands them to you, and then you guys go on your airship.
I peruse them while we travel.
Okay. Meanwhile, back in the caves outside of Kilrathis, we've got Drusilla and Raywin, as well as Kyrie in the cave together. What have you ladies been up to? It's been a couple of months now. Probably going on. Well, it's been over a month since Kilrathis was destroyed. You guys have been living outside of a cave. Well, in a cave, off of the environment around the cave, eating animals and the like, which you can find. And you've recently seen a large army of the Crimson Spear marching near your cave, so you've kind of been on high alert the last few weeks. Drusilla, what have you been up to?
I'll be creating little like illusions and stuff to maybe keep people away from the cave.
Okay. So, using your abilities to throw them off the trail. Makes sense to me. What have you been doing?
Why would you want to kill?
The city of Kilrathis was destroyed,
I know, but where?
and there's no other city nearby that you can get to on your own. Well, part of it is that you guys were sick for a bit after what you witnessed and not eating for a while. And you just knew about this cave system because it's on the backside of the shrine you guys were in, the underground shrine, the dungeon you found. And three of his people were sent here to help out with the rebuilding of Kilrathis. So you're kind of waiting for others to show up here, like this was the rally point.
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to, get everyone back to good health and then set up shop somewhere. Try to rebuild new Kilrathis. And this is the most well-defendable place until you have, walls up elsewhere. But, this is working pretty well. The other part of it is after like a week and a half, 2 weeks of being in the cave, Kyrie showed up with a broken leg, and no one's able to heal her. So you've been letting it mend and trying to stick with her and help heal her and whatnot.
Once the Lord be hunting and watch me out for anything coming. So.
Yeah, so she's to the point where like she's well recovered now, and it's kind of like you're getting that itch to go out again. Like, you know that you're not going to be able to throw them off forever. You know that game's getting harder and harder to find because there's a lot of mouths to feed in the area where there already was a lot of hunting, because it's not that far from Kilrathis, in the first place. You're only like 2 or 3 days away.
Yeah.
So when they would send out hunters into the wilderness, they were already hunting these grounds. So now that you have even more people in this one area, like it's getting overhunted, so you're having to go further and further away, and you're meeting up with more and more outriders from the Crimson Spear.
Okay.
And if they find you guys or see you, then that's gonna probably be it. So, but now you've got a good number of people back. You know, you've probably got a few thousand people that are living in the cave system, and you just know that your resources are going to be out. So you guys have been actively trying to convince the others to get up. It's time to move and find somewhere else to go. So, with that as your spirit or direction, if you want to try to take charge of the group that's there, you know, you can do that. I haven't rolled for levels, so I don't know who's all there right now, but I mean, you could certainly have an influence on where they go and what they do.
Well, I'm not the brains.
Well, I'm not the brains. Your character is a wild elf, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then I'm the moon elf, so I have.
Yeah. You're the snotty type.
Kind of.
Yes,
But
well,
I like playing tricks on people, so.
let me tell you where to go.
I'd definitely be trying to get people together, be like, we need to move on. But at the same time, I would also be trying to defend, like, putting up illusions and stuff to try to throw it off.
Okay.
Who's searching for us.
Where are you going?
I don't really know where we would go.
Where are we going,
So
mommy?
we're just gonna start,
Well,
I
so
don't want to just go out. I just don't want to.
yeah, you do have the Kilrathi people with you, and they do know the lands well enough. Like this direction is this place, this direction.
Knows,
Okay.
I don't know, like.
You want to get the map again?
so you want
The big one? Of right on us?
Yes.
So, as they're fetching the maps for you guys of where you can go, they tell you that Goleta is not one of the places, but they kind of hand you a crude drawing. It doesn't look exactly like this, but it's close enough. You guys are somewhere closer to the T right now. Kilrathis itself is in this area, and this is the city that's been destroyed. But you can go anywhere else. You could roll a spot check if you wanted, both of you. Or whoever has the higher spot.
Nothing.
Even has spots.
For spot.
Okay. I have 11 for spot. I don't know how I have 11 for spot. I have 11 for spot. So,
So as one of the columns is passing after the third week or so, you happen to notice that a person with horns is being drugged on a the best way to describe it would just be a piece of flat wood with a rope tied to it, and there's two other bodies laying on the piece of wood with him, and you recognize them as people from the party.
I'm less confused.
So
Alright, so we gotta go get these guys back. Do you know about how many people are dragging these guys?
oh yeah, it's a large column. It's probably about 250, 300 men.
Well, I don't necessarily want to run and get myself killed.
I'm kind of a station.
Well, you can try to talk to them, see why they have them. Who are these people dragging them? Are they that guard that we're like trying to avoid?
They all seem to have, they all seem to have the same type of armor on. It's metallic armor. Some of it's nicer looking, than the others. But in the center of it, they all have a vertical shaft with a metal tip on it, and the tip has a bloodied point. And if you recall correctly, they're the Crimson Spear.
So we're more so than an option. We'll probably have to follow them.
Okay. So how many people are you going to bring with you guys? So in the cave, you met up with Lanessa, and you know that was Nalam's cohort. So you've got Lanessa in there with you. You've got you two plus Kyrie, and then you've got three of his followers as well. So you could bring, at minimum, them. That'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of you.
I'm gonna make a speech to the Karathi
Mm-hmm.
survivors that are in the cave with us.
Okay.
Say something along the lines of, try to get them to rally them to see who will join us on a reconnaissance mission.
Okay. One of them who's more well-built than a lot of the rest speaks up and says, "Isn't reconnaissance meant to be a smaller group?"
Rescue. Okay, rescue mission. Use the wrong terminology there.
It's too slow.
Yeah.
Most of us are injured still, and we really don't want any trouble with the Crimson Spear. It sounds to you like they've lost their will to fight. Probably because they've lost their gods. They saw one of them get killed. They saw the other one fly away. And then they saw their entire homeland destroyed, everything they've known. I mean, it's not hard to believe that would be the case, but it's still not doing you any good that that's how they're feeling. Do you try to speak to that effect, or?
Can't really use one people. That's all I do.
There's 3 followers. There's Lanessa, Nalam's cohort. And then there's you 3, Drusilla, Kyrie, and Raven.
Yeah, we're following the series of the doings. I would say it's
Probably just
Okay, so you guys take the group of the 7 of you and you head out?
maybe one person who knows the land from Karathi is not
Sure.
too bad at intro.
So the one that spoke up
The one that spoke up
decides that they'll go with.
So we know where we're going.
Sure. Cool. All right. So you guys set off, and it takes a couple of weeks across the land, but between your hunting skills and the Kilrathi that's with you, you're able to get enough food to keep your strength up, and enough rest between shifts to not basically die of exhaustion. They take you by the swiftest paths, as quickly and quietly as they can. And you eventually come to what looks to be another big Runa city. they tell you that this is where the kingdom of Goleta used to stand. And you still see, high walls and very beautiful, intricate working in wood, and it looks to be elven make. You guys would know because you're both elves. Yeah. Just looking around, you see that there's still thousands of, troops stationed here. Not nearly as many as it would take to actually fill this entire city like you imagine it once was. But most of them are occupied, dragging dead bodies around and throwing them onto piles of smoldering wood and other bodies. Large heaps of burning bodies is basically the scene. Yeah. And everywhere that you look, you see massive holes in the ground. They're just, you have no idea how far across and how deep they are, but they're just huge holes. Like, you've seen cannon hit the ground before, hit ships, and the effect that has. This is something even more devastating than that would be. If you could imagine maybe 100 cannons hitting the same spot at once, that might be close to this effect. And they're just many holes all over the city and out in the terrain as you're approaching the city. So you're not going to be able to follow them into the city, you don't believe? But, I mean, you can certainly try if you felt up to it. Or you can stake out the city for a bit and see if you can't figure out a way in. But as of right now, it doesn't look like a good idea.
I would most likely just stake out the city, see what exactly.
Okay. So you try to find somewhere in the grass or trees or something nearby to hide, and then use illusions to help you stay hidden, maybe?
Yeah. Okay.
That makes sense. We'll give you guys some moment to process that, and think about what you want to do with that information, and we'll come back here in a bit. Nilam, Vashkar, you guys are back on the island in the cave system, and you just met up with a man named Bikuyo, and he's been telling you this strange story for a few days about how he has somewhere to be, but he can't remember where that is. Something blocks that from him. He just knows that he has this great destiny, this important mission, this message that must be delivered. And that's why he is so powerful and unafraid of death. He feels like he's somehow beyond it. Do you believe a word of anything he's saying to you?
I would believe that everyone has a choice in the future that they hold. So if he believes he has the mission, then he might be able to help me.
Okay. So he definitely has this story memorized. Whether there's truth to it or not, you can't say for certain, but you're choosing to believe him. And he thanks you for that. He understands because you actually are listening to him. You're the only one. And he confides in you that if there's an opportunity to escape, he will look to you for aid, because he knows that you want to get out of here as well. But you have to agree to help him to escape as well.
I would not leave him behind.
But it must be by night
At night?
that you escape. It must be by night.
Can't see well at night, but I don't usually need my eyes to do the talking or seeing.
Okay. So, you guys sit around here for a bit, or?
I thought we were meeting somebody else.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, like, are you gonna stay in the caves after you meet him and talk to him?
Well, I want to meet who he's talking about. And then we'll
Sure.
go from there.
Okay.
I don't know about you over there.
So you guys are taken in front of a bruised and battered man who refuses to undergo the transformation. He says that they offered it to him to save him, and they're certain that he'll die like his friend did. And he tells you this tale of how they came to this island. He can't see right now, but he says that him and his brother got tangled up in this a long time ago. And as they were leaving Raidanis and the group that they were, transporting around hadn't returned, they saw a burning building on the island. And the building reminded them of this hotel from a long, long time ago, and a misdeed that they made that they wish they could take back. And he says that his brother is dead, and he's now blind and will likely die. But he asks you if you're willing to help him find the people who they were transporting around.
If you seek your allies, then I would be more than happy to, as they would soon be mine also.
Not so much allies, just not enemies. They are important in events that may come. I don't know where our ship is. My brother and I jumped off to protect the belongings on the vessel of those we were transporting. 3 yet remain on the ship, along with maybe a handful of others. But the vessel's quite important. It was given to us by an old friend. She gave her life to protect the world. Probably over 20 years ago. The daughter of a great man. She was special. Anyhow, I don't mean to bore you with my sob story, but I need you to do 2 things for me, and you can have the ship. The first thing is you must find her daughter. She didn't often love men, but there is one that she loved a time ago. Unfortunately, I don't have any more information than that, but the name you're looking for is Arclight. They'll lead you to the right people. There might be a few in the family who know that she had a child.
Mm.
Unfortunately, her father, Calderon, is likely dead now. He's been in hell as part of the descent for almost 20 years.
If he survived, he'd be
An old man, over 50.
a great warrior.
But anyways, seek out a member of the Arclight family. They'll lead you to the heir to this vessel.
Can I roll an intelligence check to see if I can remember him talking about Herrick?
Him talking about Eric?
Yeah. 'Cause
Sure.
every time I have a debt, he brings them up. 13.
Okay.
Is that enough?
You know, something last name, maybe.
Nope.
Oh, then never mind. I just thought he would eventually over the time we traveled.
There's always pushing bases.
So, find the girl.
The second thing is make sure what happened on Orsova doesn't happen elsewhere.
And what happened there?
The city was destroyed, the city of Baval. And we recently learned that Verona fell as well.
Taken by who?
The same beings that took Baval, the undead.
They shall all burn.
That's all that we ask. This,
From Eastern Baton to, I name a couple other continents, I say, all the undead shall burn.
You know you're talking about me now, right?
What?
That's what I say to you. You're talking about me now, right?
You are undead.
You made me one.
Do you feel dead?
to use the activation on it.
Yeah, I thought that happened like when I put on.
No, it has charges though, right? Okay, so yeah, so actually you're not feeling quite as gloomy in terms of your outlook on life anymore. You might still have some.
Still, like, watching.
Yeah, they're listening to this.
Okay.
So the last thing he says is when you take vengeance, you're going to need to know how to get into the captain's chamber, because it's the only way to activate the special weaponry that we've had repaired now to deal with them.
Weapons of war.
Let's just say it'll hurt a lot. And he hands you a key. And he looks at the vampires and he says, "Enjoy my blood." And he looks at you and he says, "Finish me."
I'm not one to strike down someone who pleads for mercy. And I look at the vampires around and say, "You may feast on this man. Just know if you're done, it's going to be your last meal."
So you're going to try to kill the vampires? Okay. All right. So that happens, as they're feeding on them, and you're getting ready to do whatever you're going to do, we'll come back to that in a moment. I just need to check something real quick. All right, so you guys outside of Goleta, you notice that every 3 hours or so, there seems to be less guards actually paying attention. I don't know if it's shift change or what's going on, but instead of the normal 10 or 12 guards in any given area, there's only 2 or 3. You see a man come over and he's talking to one of the other guards, and he kind of holds up the side of his armor, and he's saying something. Who's got a better listen? You're both in the same spot, so just whoever's got the better listen. I mean, you can both roll if you want to, but okay. Yeah.
Look at me.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. So
We have it. I'm not gonna stay with this anyway, so.
okay. So what happens is he holds it up, and you recognize that he's wearing a belt, and he's talking about this belt and how he took it from this horned being, and he tried to tell him it was a whip, and he's like, "This has got to be the ugliest whip I've ever seen, if it is indeed a whip, but it makes it for a great belt." And roll an intelligence check. Yeah, you recognize this belt as the whip that Vordrick Vordrick wields in battle at times. And then you hear him farther say how they're inside the city, in the central pit where the beast first made landfall. Do you do anything with that information, or?
Now that I know where the location is at now, I'm probably gonna wait till there are 2 guards, and then I'm gonna just use disguise self
Okay.
on me, and I'm going to attempt to walk in.
Okay. So I'll just have you roll a d20. I know how disguise self works. It's pretty nice. 9. Okay. And is that your total with disguise? For the skill? For the skill disguise.
It's a skill disguise?
Yeah.
+8.
+8? Okay. So 17? So you're able to get past into the city, and you go to this pit, and lying inside the pit, you see 2 bodies just laying there. One is barely breathing. The other is either sleeping or dead. And you recognize Vordrick. You see the horns. He now has wings and more horns than he used to have. And then next to him is Felix. Do you try to go down and rescue them, or the sides are kind of steep? Or do you try to get their attention somehow? Poke them with a stick. Right.
A rock at me. There's not a very big rock.
Yeah, I see a rock on the ground and
Just gonna throw it down there?
Throw it down there.
Sure. Roll to hit.
What the hell?
Oh, poor Pete. Okay, so you get hit in the face with a rock. Roll a d8. You've got gravity. It's a deep pit. 7 damage to the face. Get a nice shiner. Right between the horns.
It wasn't that big of a rock, I swear.
Say that's your roll.
I swear I just got hit with something. Somebody's fucking shit at me.
I'm gonna stand up here, like, waving my hands above the
What?
hole and see if you can see me.
What does she look like? She look like one of the guards?
I look like one of the guards right now. So if I'm kind of like this, like acting all crazy, like
She thinks it's probably
spazzing out,
the guy
I'm
from
spazzing out at you.
I think it's the guy from there.
One of the guards is acting strangely. I don't know anybody that's on it.
Roll an intelligence check.
20.
Okay. Luckily for you, you don't think it's the guard who has your belt,
Right.
but you do think it is a guard that nonetheless is part of the Crimson's Bureau, who just chucked a rock at your face
And
and
is
is now
now
flailing their arms wildly above you.
acting like a spaz. Okay. First one comes up to me, tries to insult me, tell me that I'm responsible for destroying the city. And then another one chucks a rock at my head, and now he's acting all weird.
Sounds all right.
How long has it been since?
At this point,
Yeah.
that you've been in the pit,
Yeah.
probably a year to a month.
All right. I'm going to assume that I've taken enough time to learn to fly.
I'm sorry?
I've taken enough time, and I've actually learned to successfully fly.
Sure. Sure.
I mean, without too
Yeah.
much trouble. Okay.
Sure.
Well, in that case,
You're practicing in the cover of night.
right. I'm going to stand up.
Sit down.
No, not sit down. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to again unfurl the wings that I've got wrapped around my shoulders.
Okay.
And I'm going to keep going. Well, I'm going to fly up to the ridge, to the top of the pit, and try and figure out who this person is that chucked the rock at me.
You gonna shut them down with it?
Possibly, if I find it's necessary, but I'm gonna try to speak to them first, because I figure if they're trying to get my attention, it might be somebody friendly. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just, I don't know.
Friendly person would be
Well,
legit.
and is acting very much unlike one of the Crimson Spear guards that's acted thus far.
Maybe they're just talking to you wildly. All right. Well, anywho, what do you say to that? Chris Drusilla, what do you say?
The fact that I flew up and landed on the side.
You'd be like, hey, it's me, Drusilla.
You look
I know,
like
I look weird, but it's me, Drusilla, I swear.
I've been through some weird shit recently. I guess I will. Can you like make yourself look like you normally do, so I can be sure of that? Or are you like permanently in this shape?
This is if you roll, you can recognize me as an illusion. You can roll a check.
All right. If I roll, you'll show. All right. That seems like something I can do.
Nope.
And that was a 10. No, apparently not.
you're a man. You're nothing like Drusilla.
Okay, so I look around real cautiously first, and then I take the disguised person off myself
Sure.
and show him that it is actually me.
Okay.
And then I'll probably put it.
Flash.
I'll put it back on myself. And hope that nobody sees.
Damn it.
Nobody sees.
Nobody sees.
All right. Well, finally glad to see somebody that's friendly. Been in that pit for God only knows how long. And they've been threatening to have me executed for the longest time and don't seem to be doing anything about it. So I'm glad you made it here when you did. But what's the plan? I mean, we got to somehow get Felix out of that hole there. He's not doing too good, but hopefully I can at least try and carry him out of there.
Felix's body appears next to you.
Appears?
Yep, just laying on the ground next to you all of a sudden.
And is there anybody standing there that might have?
Nope.
Okay. It's weird. I didn't know he had the ability to teleport, especially when nearly unconscious. Not gonna question. Well, I guess that saves us from having to go back on there. Anybody else around that you know?
We do have Raywin and a few others outside the gates. But I don't know how we're gonna get you out of here. Without being seen. I mean, I got in here by, as you can tell, making myself looking like one of the guards.
Can you do that to me?
You just need to get out of here.
Oh, Christ, it's you again. Yeah, I need to get out of here.
I can help with that.
You can.
Yeah, I could have days ago, months ago, really.
So, what's... Never mind.
I just figured I'd be useless like you.
Okay.
You know, sitting around when I could fly whenever I wanted to.
I just recently learned Genius.
Yep, me too. Just recently learned how to teleport.
Yeah, because you've been doing it the whole time you've known each other.
They don't know that I can do it.
No, they don't. So, what's the holdup?
Hell if I know. I could have been gone a long time ago.
So, stop talking and get us out of the city.
Done. And I open up a gate. I ask you to drag him through there, and then tell you to walk on through. And on the other side, we're standing behind the rest of the group, and I say, "Boo!" And we can end it there if you'd like. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Seems good.
Dice&Decks signing off.